Barbie Hsu's sudden death triggers vaccination surge. Taiwan Lantern Festival's Nuwa main lantern sparks reactions. Taiwan expands stomach cancer screening program. Trump pauses tariffs on Canada, Mexico for 1 month. UK to target AI child sex abuse tools. Donald Trump stops future aid to South Africa. Dozens of earthquakes shake Greek island. Japan launches navigation satellite on new flagship rocket.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Wednesday, February 5th, and here are your top stories. And for today's Taiwan's news, Taiwanese actress Barbie Hsu's sudden death from flu-induced pneumonia sparked a surge in vaccination. Clinics are overwhelmed, some raising fees. Over 40,000 people got flu shots in a day, the highest in over 2 months. Taiwan's Lantern Festival main lantern, Nuwa, stirred controversies before it debuted, with some calling it ugly yet beautiful. Mayor Liu praised its uniqueness, while the Sweet Snake mini lantern became a hit. She also shared a 2-day itinerary full of surprises. Stomach cancer remains a leading cause of death in Taiwan, with about 2,000 deaths annually. The National Health Service has expanded its screening program to 17 cities, and starting next year, stomach cancer will be covered as the 6th free cancer screening. And in global news, days after announcing a 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico, President Donald Trump agrees to delay them for 1 month after leaders from Canada and Mexico announced moves to ramp up security at their borders, averting, at least for now, tariffs that could have driven up prices for U.S. customers and stalled the country's economies. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau wrote that Canada would be spending $1.3 billion on a plan to reinforce its borders with new helicopters, technology, and personnel, as well as additional resources to stop the flow of fentanyl.
Canada had announced its $1.3 billion border and immigration investment at the end of last year. Trump soon posted as well, focusing on fentanyl and emphasizing that tariffs would be paused for a 30-day period to see whether or not a final economic deal with Canada can be structured. Earlier in the day, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum posted on social media that Mexico would immediately reinforce its northern border with 10,000 members of the country's National Guard to address drug trafficking from Mexico into the U.S., particularly fentanyl. Once again, Trump said that the U.S. would continue negotiations with Mexico over border security, headed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick.
Britain will make it illegal to use artificial intelligence tools to create child sexual abuse images, becoming the first country in the world to introduce new AI-related sexual abuse offenses. Possessing, taking, making, showing, or distributing explicit images of children is already a crime in England and Wales. The new offenses specifically target the use of AI tools to nudify real-life images of children. The move comes as online criminals increasingly use AI to generate child abuse materials, with reports of such explicit images rising nearly 5-fold in 2024.
Predators use AI tools to disguise their identity and blackmail children with fake images, forcing them into further abuse, such as streaming live images. The new criminal offenses include the possession, creation, or distribution of AI tools designed to generate child sexual abuse material, as well as the possession of so-called AI pedophile manuals, which provide instructions on using the technology. Another offense targets those running websites that distribute such content. Authorities will also be empowered to unlock digital devices for inspection. Britain announced earlier this month that it would also make the creation and sharing of sexually explicit, deepfakes, videos, pictures, or audio clips made with AI to look real, a criminal offense.
South Africa President Cyril Ramaphosa responded on Monday to U.S. President Donald Trump's threat to cut off aid over the alleged mistreatment of white farmers, denying Trump's claim that authorities were confiscating land. Ramaphosa said, South Africa is a constitutional democracy deeply rooted in the rules of law, justice, and equality. The South African government has not confiscated any land. He added, we look forward to engaging with the Trump administration over our land reform policies and issues of bilateral interest.
While the U.S. was a key strategic political and trade partner, it did not provide significant funding to South Africa aside from a major HIV/AIDS relief program. His statement comes after Trump said he would cut off all future funding to the country until a full investigation was conducted into allegations that South Africa is confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. Trump's long-held complaint, which he also made in 2018 during his first term, relates to the complex land reform in South Africa. Racist policies of the past forcibly removed black and non-white South Africans from their land for white use. Since South Africa emerged from apartheid and held its first democratic elections in 1994, the country's constitution has included provisions for land redistribution and restitution.
Schools remain closed and additional flights were scheduled to help people leave the Greek islands of Santorini on Monday, as dozens of tremors shook the popular holiday destination for a fourth consecutive day. Tremors have been recorded between the volcanic islands of Santorini and Amargos since Friday, prompting authorities to close school in nearby area. Quakes, some exceeding a magnitude of 4, rattled Santorini every few minutes on Monday as people were advised to stay outdoors and avoid small ports. Disaster response units were deployed as a precaution.
Experts have said that seismic activity on the island, where some of the most populated areas are perched on steep cliffs, will continue for weeks. Permanent residents were not particularly worried, as they are accustomed to earthquakes, but some workers on the island were leaving. Aegean Airlines announced it would operate 3 additional flights to and from Santorini on Monday and Tuesday to facilitate travel for residents and visitors, following a request from Greece's Civil Protection Ministry. Greece sits on multiple fault lines and frequently experiences earthquakes. One of the largest volcanic eruptions in history, around 1600 BC, shaped Santorini into its current form. The last eruption in the area occurred in 1950.
Japan on Sunday launched a navigation satellite on its new flagship H-3 rocket as the country seeks to develop a more precise location positioning system of its own. The H-3 rocket carrying the Michibiki 6 satellite successfully lifted off from the Tanegashima Space Center, with the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency stating that everything has proceeded as planned. Japan currently operates the Quasi-Zenith satellite system, which has 4 satellites for a regional navigation system that began operation in 2018. This new satellite would be the 5th in its network.
Michibiki's signals are used to supplement American GPS to improve positioning data for smartphones, cars, maritime navigation, and drones. Japan plans to launch 2 more navigation satellites to create a 7-satellite system by March 2026. Aiming for more precise global positioning capabilities without relying on foreign services, including the U.S. by the late 2030s, Japan intends to have an 11-satellite network. Japan views a stable, commercially competitive space transport capability as key to its space program and national security, and it has been developing 2 new flagship rockets as successors to the mainstay H-2A series. It hopes to cater to diverse customer needs and improve its position in the growing satellite launch market.
The answer for yesterday was B, imposed. The government decided to impose a heavy tax on luxury goods. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. Donald Trump stops future aid to South Africa. Number 1, mistreatment, 虐待. The animal rights group is protecting against the mistreatment of stray dogs. Number 2, confiscate, 没收. The customs officers confiscated the illegal drugs at the airport. Number 3, engage, 与某人互动. Teachers should find new ways to engage with students in the classroom. Now we have a question for you. You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. That's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Wade Lee, your host. I'll see you next time.